What is up, YouTube? It's me, the one true Fub here, and I'm here to play the Stanley Parable. This is my second time recording it today. The first time it crashed halfway through on the recording software, so now I have to keep that window up in the corner just to make sure it doesn't go stupid again. With that being said, let's get started.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for his job. Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of the office.
Anyhow, I'm going to start out by listening to him.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Anyhow, but after I listen to him for the first time, I'm just going to do whatever I want. Just point it out. Okay. Give me a second. Turn that off. Okay. Also, button heaven.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, I'm also going to try to get to button heaven, where it's just heaven, but all it is just tons of buttons, and that's all it is.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go out to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I think I might know where everyone went. They were all fired by the guy who wanted to hire somebody to fire people. Yeah. Also, during that recording, I may have done the broom closet ending, so you guys are gonna miss out on that one. I'll figure out a way to reset it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, wait. There we go. Okay.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural rejection of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
That is true.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
But who played the music? Nobody, because they were all gone.
Soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley
Done. Anyhow, let's go. I clicked. Sorry about all the noise, that's just me trying to get my mouse to work correctly, so I have to set it on stuff like boxes, and because they're empty, they move. I think I fixed it. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
You're next, escape.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did it have the strength to find out?
Yeah. Huh? Hold on. Give me a second. Huh. Okay. That's from another ending. I'm seeing something here. Because I know that... Okay, I'll come back to that one later. There's a secret disco in here. Done it before, just forget how. Anyhow, let's do this.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
427.
Lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Stanley's somewhere over there.
One of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Is that? I think that's him. Come on. Gaming, yeah. Yep. 427 right there. Center screen. Let's just let it go back to normal first, then I'll continue. Yep, right there. Center screen. Okay. Would zoom in, but I don't have any way to do that.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I want to go back. Not too sure if I can, though. Oh well. Nope.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Probably.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Also, as I've said, I said it during the last recording, but that's not going to get posted. I'm not doing the on thing because it takes too long to get to, and then it's a really long ending that's pretty boring. So I'm not doing that. Sorry if you really like the ending. Well, hey, maybe I will. Who knows?
Rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
Yeah, I had.
From someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Hell.
Had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Satan.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
No more mysteries, those are the only mysteries.
He realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him
That thing's barely open. Oh, wait.
whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all that he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Okay. To freedom.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ah. Okay. Well, I think this time... Is there? No. Oh, well.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing.
Huh.
For now.
Oh, well. No. I really do enjoy this game.
He came to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Not the fact that I want to get it extremely off track. Okay.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I think he tells me to leave. Sorry about that.
Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Yep, like this one. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I'm leaving.
At this point, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
You know what?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
For you guys, I'm gonna do the no ending. I'm also gonna have to skip I'm also gonna have to edit. I'm also gonna have to edit out a big part because I'm gonna get one of the Easter eggs.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
The Easter egg just requires me to sit there doing nothing for a little while, so yeah. But afterwards, it'll be worth it.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
What? That's a little rude of him. Okay. Well, guess I don't have to push those buttons. No, I'm pushing 8888 8888 8888 8888. Eight. It said 8, which I just found hilarious. Anyhow, 2, 8, 4, 5. There we go. Sorry, it's just, that's a joke from the original one and from the trailer game. They made a game as the trailer for it, but in it there was just an 8 button. The button was just an 8. Best trailer ever. Why? Well, it had an 8 button. Anyhow. Okay. Now I guess it's time to do this. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Don't worry, I'm doing it. Although it is gonna have some editing. Just saying. Click.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did it have the strength to find out?
Yeah, he did. He had the strength to walk, and that's all it required. Therefore, he did have the strength. Okay. Click.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
Yep, there's Stanley.
So many individuals reduced to images of
There's the red room filled with blood. There's the stairway.
monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There's an air. Yeah. Click.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Okay. This is where I'm gonna edit it out. So, see you in a bit. Or, well, a second for you. Okay. Apparently I'm not going to be editing out much. I didn't have to wait that long. But it was worth the wait because I can click this button again and yeah, William, you do hide the best secrets. Hold on. What is up? I'm back. Just had to take care of a little something. Yeah,
couldn't accept it. His
that's
own
why I like
life
this
in
room.
someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the Middle Beam for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh no!
But this machine is activated without proper DNA identification. Nuclear detonators are sent to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 weeks. Now this thing's a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
There's nothing that'll turn it off. I just like pressing these.
Screen to screen.
See? Green, green.
Every little thing in this room. These number buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything. Something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? One soul? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No end to that. And you let it go peacefully. Make it count. It's all the same to me. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
And he died. The end. Now, I'm gonna end off this episode on a happy note. A very happy note. The note of me going straight to button heaven. Come on, game, let's load. Button heaven. Yeah. Button heaven. Yes, it's heaven. All of the colored buttons that make all of the noises. Hey look, I stopped the buttons from moving. Stand here and just press against it, you can stop them. And then I can let them continue moving by trying to walk. Or I can stay like this. Now, button heaven. Well, that's all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. This has been the One True Fub. And as always, bye-bye.